Hey guys, Toby from FOODTUBE here. I'm in a small white room in London and I'm gonna cook for you guys one of my favorite breakfasts for 2 people that's sugar-free and low fat. It's kale with baked eggs, chili and feta. It's a great thing to make on the weekend, packed with flavor. One of my favorite healthy breakfasts, by the way. To start with, you guessed it, you'll probably need some kale. Kale is super high in vitamin K, which is essential for blood clotting. And for this kale here, I kind of prepped this up. So I've basically cut it into about 5 centimeter lengths and I've removed a lot of the really fibrous stalk, which is actually really good to eat. But for this dish, because it's quite quick cooking, the leaves would actually be way overcooked before the stalk was ready to go. So get your pan going over a kind of low to medium heat, and the oven stage left over here is on 180 degrees Celsius. Now, before this pan gets super hot, I'm gonna pop a tablespoon of olive oil into there. And once we get some heat into there, we can pop the kale in. This is one of those recipes where while things are cooking, you can get other things ready on the go as well. So it all comes together ready at the end. Now, I like to put some heat in here. In this case, I'll be using these little gnarly chilies. Now, for this recipe for 2 people, 1 small clove of garlic. Fill the pan by not putting your hand right in there, but just hovering above. And then we can take a couple of good sized handfuls of kale. And this will wilt down quite a lot as well. So make sure the pan's right down, and now we start to move quite quickly. So for the garlic, we'll just remove the skin. And we want to quite finely chop this. I might just add a little pinch of salt into the garlic here, which will do a couple of things. It's going to pick up all that beautiful moisture that comes out. Also acts a little like grip tape on a skateboard and holds the garlic in place while you chop. Now for the chili. If you like chili but you don't like it super hot, you can slice it right down the middle there and remove the seed. Just slice it as finely as you can. Let's have a look at this. Now what I want to resist doing with this kale is cooking it too much. We're actually kind of two-tone cooking here. We're starting this in the pan and teasing the kale over the heat, but then we're going to actually put it into the oven where it's going to get really nice and crispy as well. So from here, chili and garlic can go in. I actually put it through at this stage because I felt that with the amount of oil, which is not very much in here, the garlic would just burn if I put it in at the very beginning. And from here, we're gonna pop this whole pan into the oven for about 3 to 5 minutes until this starts to get a little crispy. Okay, so this has been in the oven just for a couple of minutes. It's starting to crisp up, but you don't wanna cook it to the point where it's actually starting to go brown. Now, this is where the magic happens. Take yourself a spoon and just create sort of 4 little pockets in there. And then grab your favorite best quality eggs. And you guys guessed it, we're gonna drop these straight into each little pocket there. So you need to move fairly quickly with this. Okay, as soon as you got the eggs in there, this can go back into the oven for about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, now we've got some time, we can start to pull together the rest of the flavors. So I've got some salty kind of feta there, which is so important to this dish because it's got an abundance of flavor. But I'm gonna pull together another little combination of flavors, including cayenne pepper and yogurt. So let's put a good pinch of cayenne pepper into about 2 tablespoons of yogurt, a little pinch of salt, and a little bit of pepper. We can give this a little bit of a mix. It's these little trick tips that for me have been super important in making healthy food, I guess fun to cook, but also not making me feel like I'm going without. Because when my wife Georgia asked me all those years ago to start cooking a healthy diet, I thought I was gonna have to start cooking rabbit food. It's not true. Healthy food can be delicious and moreish. And this is a really great example of that if we head over to the oven. So these eggs are almost set. So I'm gonna take this yogurt mixture and just start to dab little bits around the kale. So we'll take some feta at this time as well, sprinkle that around, and then more of this. And we'll pop this back into the oven for about, I think no more than 2 minutes. And this is how I like it. They're cooked just to the point where the whites are perfectly set there, but we've still got beautiful springy yolks. For me, I like to serve this at the table as is. I mean, the fact is, these whites have actually kind of meandered through the kale there and almost a little bit like a frittata set this. So if you did want to, you could get in there with a spatula and serve it, but why bother? you're just gonna be making more dirty dishes. This dish right here will give you your daily intake of vitamin B12, which is great for metabolism. I like to finish this just with a little sprinkling of cayenne pepper on the yolks. If you want to turn this into a super balanced meal, you can even this out with a couple of slices of rye bread. Now for the taste test. I'm gonna take a big mouthful, it's gonna be awkward. It's like all my favorite flavors in one. We've got garlic and chili, and that kale's so crispy. And it's breakfast with those beautiful high protein eggs to keep me going right through the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe for baked eggs, kale, chili, feta, yogurt. If you want more recipes like this, head over to my channel, The Chef Gets Healthy. The link is just here. And if you guys love a coffee in the morning, just like I do, head over to FOODTUBE, where there's loads of coffee recipes. The link is here. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe to FOODTUBE. If you want to know more about the kind of cooking I do, I've written a book called The Chef Gets Healthy. There's a link right down here. Catch you guys next time.